So inini ndakadhakwa nembanje dzangu ndikaenda kuchipatara ndaunorapwa ka handibatsiri asi ndikazvishaya tetega aiwa.
Deeper analysis.
So, are you ready and prepared if violence rears up?
Jacob Mafume's party has taken hostage of them.
The videos are there.
Do not be drawn into the debate of discussing issues that are subjudice. He said when he grows up, he would like to be like me.
Just to put you in the...
Good evening and welcome to the program.
Just to break the ice, what is ZNF's mandate?
To promote media freedom.
And money matters.
Coming up, Tanganda Limited is set to bring online a macadamia processing plant.
Now, Zimbabwe Stock Exchange listed company Seedco Limited has resolved to suspend indefinitely its proposal.
Every week on ZTN Prime.
Hello and welcome to The Mint. I'm Andy Hodges. This is ZTN Prime broadcasting to you.
So when COVID came...
Welcome back. You're watching The Mint live on ZTN Prime. I'm Eben Mabunda.
Everything that I said, I meant it. A lot of things happened. I've been appreciated by the people, but I've also been growth by the people. There's the art and there's the artist. Welcome to the reality. Welcome to Mukudej's Summer's life. And it starts now.
I feel like I've got a word for somebody. Life, just as we all know it, is full of emotions. Hakuna kana game one, where in 90 minutes you can be able to fully express yourself, like football. It's a goal! Oh, it was a spec side. If our favorite player scores, hi, boy, jubilation! But if they miss, I'll get to shame. If the referee makes a very bad decision, we are so disheartened. If our team loses, I could go on and on and on and on. But simply put, football is 90 minutes of pure emotion.
Let your emotions run wild with the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League. Bora Redu, live on ZTN Prime.
Welcome to Chew On, the show that links people, food and culture whilst giving you a diverse culinary experience.
Pure ingredients, wholesome, vibrant and earthy dishes. When you get all the elements together, it all sings. That's what Zimbabwean food is all about. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Chew On.
football's most beautiful game, and we do that in depth. And today our topic is
staying true to who you are. Ooh, guys, sometimes you just get so complacent, guys. You just chill.
Do something a little crazy. Go Sonia on them.
Bye. You take your stuff, I take my stuff. That's it. The man is supposed to be like a provider. We understand, like we've had this conversation before.
I say I look good and I'm good looking. They were just happy to have Becky K in their family.
I've got 2 teenagers.
They always think whatever solves our problem has to be mine. Because half the time we got someone, you know, Pira don't marry.
Following the story.
What is happening on Zimbabwe's roads? How did we get here? Through red robots, basically break every road rule under the sun.
So inini ndakadhakwa nembanje dzangu ndikaenda kuchipatara ndaunorapwa kana handibatsiri asi ndikazvishaya tetega aiwa.
Deeper analysis.
So, are you ready and prepared if violence rears up?
Jacob Mafume's party has taken hostage of them.
The videos are there.
Do not be drawn into the debate of discussing issues that are subjective. He said when he grows up, he would like to be like me.
Just to put you in there.
Good evening and welcome to the program.
Just to break the ice, what is ZINEF's mandate?
To promote media freedom.
And money matters.
Coming up, Tanganda Limited is set to bring online a macadamia processing plant.
Now, Zimbabwe Stock Exchange listed company Seedco Limited has resolved to suspend indefinitely its proposal.
Every week on ZTN Prime.
Hello and welcome to The Minx. I'm Andy Hodges. This is ZTN Prime broadcasting to you.
So when COVID came...
Welcome back. You're watching The Mint live on ZTN Prime. I'm Eben Mabunda.
Everything that I said, I meant it. A lot of things happened. I've been appreciated by the people, but I've also been growth by the people. There's the art and there's the artist. Welcome to the reality. Welcome to Mukudej Summer's life. And it starts now.
I feel like I've got a word for somebody. Life, just as we all know it, is full of emotions. Akuna gonna game one, where in 90 minutes you can be able to fully express yourself like football.
Chance, and it's a goal! Otherwise, it was a spectacle.
If our favorite player scores, hi, boy, jubilation! But if they miss, I'll get to shame. If the referee makes a very bad decision, we are so disheartened. If our team loses, go on and on and on and on. But simply put, football is 90 minutes of pure emotion.
Let your emotions run wild with the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League. Bora Redu, live on ZTN Prime.
Welcome to Chew On, the show that links people, food and culture whilst giving you a diverse culinary experience.
Pure ingredients, wholesome, vibrant and earthy dishes. When you get all the elements together, it all sings. That's what Zimbabwean food is all about. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Chew On.
The world's most beautiful game, and we do that in depth. And today our topic is
Hello and welcome to Bid the Market, the only show in Zimbabwe that deep dives into everything equities, markets and finance. I'm Ibn Mabunda. Let's get started. Coming up on Bid the Market, in Zimbabwe dollar terms, the ZSE closed last week at a month-to-date loss of 32%, while year-to-date gains were trimmed to 500%. However, in US dollar terms, the bourse has succumbed to losses of nearly 10% since the beginning of the year and over 13% in the month of July alone. This follows the government's move to tighten its policy on money supply in a bid to curtail inflation and curb the runaway exchange rate. Moving on, Zimbabwe Stock Exchange listed blue chip company Delta Corporation's group revenue grew by 163% for the quarter to June 30 in inflation adjusted terms. The group attributes the jump in revenue to growth in as far as the volumes were actually concerned. Now, to discuss this, I will be joined by Old Mutual Securities Chief Dealer and Operations Manager Regis Mutambo, as well as the OMSEC analyst Trevor Mhlope. But the market will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Bid the Market, and we're coming to you live from Zimbabwe's capital, Harare. Now, I'm now joined by Regis Mutambo as well as Trevor Mhlope from the Old Mutual Securities. Gentlemen, hello and welcome to Bid the Market.
Hello.
Fantastic. I'll start with you, Regis. In Zimbabwe dollar terms, the ZSE closed, of course, last week at month-to-date losses of 32%, while year-to-date gains were trimmed to 500%. However, in US dollar terms, that's where the real value is actually assessed, isn't it? Where it is that the bourse succumbed to losses of about 10% since the beginning of the year and 13% in the month of July alone. What does this mean from a holistic perspective?
All right, so thank you for that question, Eben. So in real US dollar terms, I think we are looking at market caps of say around 1.2 billion. On average, you should expect that market cap to be around say 3 billion. So in our view, that what has happened over the last a few months has actually meant that the market has become cheaper. in US dollar terms. What it means for investors out there is those bargain hunters that are looking to get into the equities market, the timing couldn't be better.
Right. Trevor, you would agree that the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange has been struggling to keep pace with the inflationary pressures that the Zimbabwean economy has succumbed to since the beginning of the year, in fact, even into 2022. But in 2023, that inflationary pressure has been so powerful and so overbearing in as far as the movement of the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange All-Share Index. Now, the question would be, should there be a switch or a change in terms of some of the monetary movements that we have seen? Where could the market actually move toward?
Okay, so the issue really is liquidity, and as we are talking about, we're talking about monetary aggregates here. So there are certain companies that are doing well. If you look at our recommendations, your Delta, your Migos, their volumes, they are really good. They are double-digit volume growth. So what's happening or what's affecting our market is really an issue of ZW liquidity crunch that is prevailing in the market. But we don't see that really affecting the operation of these companies. These companies are doing well fundamentally. So in the event that there is a positive shift in terms of monetary supply or ZW liquidity in the market, we should see the market moving, especially your top 10. So your Delta, your Migos, your Econet, your CPZ, those counters, they should do well. Yeah.
Would you want to shed a little bit more light in terms of some of the factors behind the liquidity crunch that we are seeing, for the sake of the viewer, just to break it down?
Okay, so as we all know, in Q1, the market didn't really do well, but in Q2, there was a rally. Why? Because there was a lot of ZW liquidity chasing a little USD then, and there were interventions by both the Ministry of Finance and the RBZ. They modified the RBZ foreign exchange market. So it's now more of willing buyer, willing seller than the previous auction. So what happened is people would bid openly from, if you say maybe $1 is 5,000, the RBZ would say, okay, we'll give you that money. So what happened is the rate on both the official and the parallel rate really ballooned in. And the RBZ tightened that monetary supply. In the process, now there is very little, because I was on this other analyst Niger with Pesi Banyanya. He's on RBZ MPC, and they were saying payments to contractors now are more of USD than ZW. So whatever ZW that is getting into the market is now little compared to what was happening maybe before those interventions.
Right,
So,
and this
just add to that as well. So you'll find that the interventions that were taken by the authorities to curb the devaluation of the Zim dollar also coincided with QPD payments for most of these corporates. There was also a requirement that even for the US dollar sales, I think up to 20% of that was now required, as well as tax payments in Zim dollar. So what that did is it put pressure on corporates as well that needed to raise Zim dollar liquidity for QPD payments to also go into the equities market and liquidate in order to raise Zim dollar, putting further pressure or further downward pressure on the equities prices.
Now, with that clear picture, very quickly, what then does this mean? He spoke of volumes growth that are across the board that have been recorded, of course, in the earnings that we have been receiving up to this point. Would ZSE remain a good investment destination? What then becomes the right investment strategy from an investor perspective?
As always, we always try to look at the bigger picture. picture, and we are always trying to look long term in terms of giving our recommendations. So what that means is we look at the fundamentals. For us, when we look at a business or its performance, we are always encouraged when we are seeing volumes growth. It means that the growth is real. There could be an illusion of growth where we are talking about, pricing being pushed by inflationary pressures. So maybe company A volume has declined, but they are recording, say, 100 million in sales, and company B volumes have doubled, and it's actually coming through as well in terms of the overall turnover. So you always try to go for those businesses or companies that are doing well in terms of the actual output that they are bringing out there. But to also answer your question on the strategy, when there is uncertainty about, I think the approach to take is a cautious one. So go for defensive stocks. Go look for proven management. At the end of the day, you want to look at the fundamentals. How is the business performing? Who are its competitors? What is its market share? How dominant is it? So companies like Delta then just rise to the top.
Right, moving on to the Victoria Falls Stock Exchange, which is our US dollar denominated bourse in Zimbabwe, where it is that the VFX All Share Index closed last week at a month-to-date loss of about 8%, while year-to-date losses were stretched to about 26% to hit an all-time low of 70.12 points. Now, what again is your assessment, Trevor, with regards to the movement of the VFX?
Okay, so the VFX is being affected by USD liquidity now. So if you check, your biggest investors in Zimbabwe are your pension funds. So if you check, most people, what they're earning in USD are their allowances you get, but your salary is still in ZWL. So it means these pension houses, they don't have the liquidity to go and invest on the VFX, yet they can still invest on the ZSC. Yeah. So we need maybe to be more attractive, to attract foreign players, maybe to boost that market. But as it stands right now, the issue of liquidity, it really comes back to the issue of the biggest investor in Zimbabwe, who are your pension houses. But then looking at the business as well, they're still doing well. You look at your InScore, they're investing as well, and their volumes growth are also double digit. You can even compare them to Delta. Your national foods, they're investing, I'm sure, 25 million in their flour factory in Bulawayo. So the businesses, they are doing well. Fundamentally, they are good. They are sound. Their management proven. Okay. So it's really an issue of liquidity.
Time for us to take a breather. When we come back, we continue with the conversation right here on Beat the Market.
Yawuya isifikile. Introducing the $dollar funeral plan. If you are a vendor, burial society, church, cooperative, organized group, this is the plan for you. For just $1 only, you can be covered. SMS live to 712 and we will call you back. We are Mose or Zani Lonke for just $1 per month. First Mutual Life. With you, for you.
Welcome back. You are watching Bet the Market, and we are coming to you live from our Zim Papers studios in Zimbabwe, Harare. Now, I am still with Regis Mutambo as well as Trevor Mhlope from the Old Mutual Securities. Now, gentlemen, according to your most recent report, Trevor, one of your top 5 picks includes InScore as well as Nut Foods, which you recommended as being your top 5 picks. Would you want to shed more light behind this decision to say, look, this is one of the main, counters that you could actually make a buck out of in the short to medium term?
Okay, so if you look at INSCO, before they migrated to the VFX, they were our favorites at OMSEC. Why? Because of their volumes growth journey, their innovation, and also all their fundamentals massive in general. You get massive capex as well. They invested 77 million in the past 2 years or so. So now they've migrated to the VFX. INSCO listed at a price of around 92 cents. Now it's trading at around 37 cents. So I hate to be tempted to put it back on those recommendations, because this is a good asset, and if you are picking it at around 37 cents because of liquidity issues, then if you have the money, why not?
So in short, its current trading price is not really a reflection of how well that business is doing. It's really driven by issues around liquidity of the USD and what Trevor alluded to earlier around the biggest investors in our country are pension funds, and currently there's very little pensionable USD income.
Very quickly, Hippo Valley, the parent Tonga with that movement there with Kagera, making that possible acquisition of the business. What would be the trickle-down effect on Hippo Valley? Buy or sell? Why?
For us, having taken care of the financial troubles that the parent company was experiencing, we think that the coming in of a new majority shareholder is actually a positive for Hippo here. So it remains on our recommendations.
Back to you, Regis. You also look at Delta, one of the blue chips that we've got on the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange. In the most recent trading update, they indicated that they had a volumes growth of 10% over the last quarter to June 30, as well as also volumes as well as revenue growth. But also of note is the fact that they just recently invested in a $71 million plant, which is expected to ramp up their volumes as well as revenues going into the future. Just in a nutshell, can you shed light in terms of the operations of Delta and what your position is as Old Mutual Securities?
So we consider Delta our all-weather friend in terms of investment. I mean, you need to have Delta anchoring your portfolio. Their market positioning is undisputed, dominant in terms of the market share. Yet they are still hungry. They continue reinvesting or recapitalizing the business. So I think there was a tour recently of the plants that they've invested into. So we expect that to add even further to this 10%. They are paying dividends also in USD. I think over 80% now of their sales are actually in USD as well. And all of this money will trickle down to the shareholder at the end of the day. So we're quite positive and bullish about Delta.
And there would be also the sentiment that stocks are pretty much underpriced. In just 30 seconds, would you want to speak to that, Trevor?
Yes, as Regis alluded earlier, the market cap on average during dollarization era was around 4 billion. Yes, it could go up to about 8 billion, 6 billion, but our average is around 4 billion. We take out 1 billion that is now listed on the ZSE, I mean on the VFX, that migrated on the VFX, we are left with 3 billion. Right now, if you value it using the official rate, it should be around 1.8 billion. So there's 1.2 billion lying around. Maybe it's in Delta, maybe it's in CBZ. So it's for the investor to then look for that gold somewhere.
Well, unfortunately, we have run out of time. I would like to thank my guest, Regis Mutambo, who is the Old Mutual Securities Chief Dealer and Operations Manager, as well as Trevor Mhlope, an analyst with the Old Mutual Securities. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us on Bid the Market. Well, that concludes our show today. I'm Eben Mabunda, the Money Man. Let them do what they do. When we do what we do, we mean business. Thank you for watching.